What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, the Supreme B Man, and I am here. E3 2019 has started. It has begun. It hasn't officially started, considering all the conferences haven't been opened yet. EA has already announced some of the games that they're working on right now. Not that I'm really interested in anything EA's really creating, because they've had a bad track record as of late. And Google has announced they're making some type of rounded console that's supposed to play a lot of the same games that pretty much all the other consoles are playing right now as we speak. Maybe a few more here and there. I think, to be brutally honest about the Google system, I think that I don't know what the name is, but um, I do know, but I ain't finna try to say it because I might say it wrong. But anyways, I think it'd be a nice little system for indie developers. As much as anything, I don't think they're really gonna get the mainstream market right off the bat. Because a lot of people have already spent their money on PS4s and Xboxes and Switches and stuff. There might be a few people that might try it, but other than that, I don't think it's really going to get the hardcore fan base unless there's absolutely something exclusive on that thing. But that's just me. That's my quick little 2 cent opinion about the little Google video game system. But what I'm really here for, and what you're here for, is to hear about my top 10 games that I want to hear announced. I want to see either a trailer or something of at E3. These top 10 games are not games that are on not too many people's list. I've picked these games solely because of the years of me kind of following the franchise. Obviously, there's a lot of fighting games on this list. I'm just going to tell you that as a disclaimer. There's no shooters or nothing like that really pop out to me right now. I hear of Halo, Gears of War, and stuff like that. I like those games, but they don't really interest me as much as they used to in the beginning stages of the Xbox or the PlayStation. And so, mainly fighting games on this list. Mainly, there's a couple of other games here and there, but not as many as fighting games. And there's an obvious franchise or company that I'm really eyeballing to hope that they announce one of these games. So just pay attention and just sit back and listen to your boy B Man's top 10 games he wants to hear announced at E3. Coming at number 10 is Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Say as you will about Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I know that there was a lot of problems, a lot of issues here and there, especially with the gym system and the characters being played on the disc. But considering the way things are nowadays with loot boxes and all the RNG that people got to go through to unlock just one little costume, I think that Street Fighter Cross Tekken deserves a second shot, at least. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I think that game's long gone. So that's why I'm kind of paying attention to Namco and their Tekken Cross Street Fighter idea, or at least whenever they're going to announce it or whenever they're going to unleash it, because it's just a matter of time. With Akuma showing up in Tekken 7, it only shows that they're obviously working on the mechanics on how to make those 2D characters play in a 3D space. Akuma and Geese from the King of Fighters franchise as well, and especially with their projectile attacks and stuff like that. It's obvious that they're trying to see if they can do a type of crossover fighting game like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, or maybe some big grandiose fighting game that introduces both Street Fighter characters and KOF characters. So I would love to see Tekken Cross Street Fighter be announced by Namco this year, or at least maybe say a few words about it. It's just coming at number 10 is Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Say as you will about Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I know that there was a lot of problems, a lot of issues here and there, especially with the gem system and the characters being played on the disc. But considering the way things are nowadays with loot boxes and all the RNG that people got to go through to unlock just one little costume, I think that Street Fighter Cross Tekken deserves a second shot, at least. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I think that game's long gone. So that's why I'm kind of paying attention to Namco and their Tekken Cross Street Fighter idea, or at least whenever they're going to announce it or whenever they're going to unleash it, because it's just a matter of time. With Akuma showing up in Tekken 7, it only shows that they're obviously working on the mechanics on how to make those 2D characters play in a 3D space. Akuma and Geese from the King of Fighters franchise as well, and especially with their projectile attacks and stuff like that. It's obvious that they're trying to see if they can do a type of crossover fighting game like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, or maybe some big grandiose fighting game that introduces both Street Fighter characters and KOF characters. So I would love to see Tekken Cross Street Fighter be announced by Namco this year, or at least maybe say a few words about it. It's just a matter of time before, it happens. Maybe it'll be a next gen type of video game. Who knows? At number 9 is going to be Godzilla vs. King Kong Tournament Fighter, made by Arc Systems. I've already done a video about this game. You can check the link in the description about that. I'm looking forward to Arc Systems possibly announcing a new tournament fighter, mainly this game. It's only a rumor, and I saw the rumor on my phone. I was sent some news about it, and I looked it up and I checked it out, and there's a couple of little articles here and there that's saying that Godzilla vs. King Kong fighting game is coming out. I think it's coming off of the hype of Godzilla King of the Monsters. Say what you will about that movie, I don't care. I loved it. You may have hated it, but it was a good movie nonetheless. But a Godzilla vs. King Kong tournament fighter would be great. I would love to see the style of Arc Systems, because most of their fighting games are beautiful. I mean, they're just so gorgeous. Like, they hit the anime aesthetic a lot better than some other companies do. I'm not saying that all, companies suck at doing anime. Everybody has their own style, but this, when it comes to fighting games, though, Arc Systems seems to nail that just right, and especially with their cinematic super moves and all sorts of like crazy combo splash color and whatnot. I think Godzilla versus King Kong would be a great type of game to have. I mean, I would love to see some super moves being done by some of the monsters. And I would like to see what kind of roster they would have. How far deep are they going to go into the Godzilla lore? Or how many monsters will they try to insert here? I can say they could probably put in a good number of monsters. And they don't even have to stay within the Godzilla realm. I mean, we could get Jaegers. We can get Ultraman. Who knows? Jet Jaguar needs to be a thing. I'm just saying, dog. So I would love to hear that game be announced, and hopefully the rumors are true. So we'll just have to wait and see. At number 8 is going to be Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Yet another game that I've already done a video over. Link in the description. This game, the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise, is a huge franchise to fighting game entrepreneurs or fighting game veterans. It is a huge franchise. It is a big deal to a lot of people. It's what got me into fighting games, having to play with characters like Spider-Man and Ryu and having them bop each other back and forth. Seeing all the different combinations of teams that you can have in Marvel 2 was insane. The roster was crazy. Marvel 3 had a beautiful stylistic look to it, all the splashing colors. And unfortunately, Marvel Infinite tried to cash in on what Marvel 3 was doing and did it very poorly, and it just wasn't all that great. So I hope that Capcom kind of sat in the workshop, in the workspace basement somewhere in their company, and is kind of like doing an Iron Man 1 moment of like building their Mark 1 armor suit, but like giving it new tech, new abilities, new supers, new characters, a huge roster that everybody will be pleased with. Hopefully Capcom will maybe announce it. I mean, I'm not expecting for a trailer. I'm not expecting for like screenshots or anything like that. I just want them to say, yes, we are working on a Marvel vs. Capcom game. That's all I need. That's it. And I don't care how long it takes. Be sure that you do it right. I want to see the first trailer when it's presented, and I'll let my judgment go after that and whether I'm going to buy it or not. But hopefully they've listened to their fan base, they paid attention, and they know what the people want. Next up at number 7, yet another fighting game from Namco, Tekken 8. Now the Tekken franchise is another huge fighting game series that kind of changed me over the course of some decades now. Ever since Tekken 2 and Tekken 3, especially Tekken 3, I've played this series. I have followed these characters of Jin, Heihachi, Kaiusa, King, Hyrong. You name those characters, I've paid attention to them all. I followed their stories. It is basically the end of an era, the Mishima era mainly, and now that, spoiler alert, Heihachi is no longer with us, I would like to see where it goes from here. Apparently, obviously Jin is going to have to fight his father and defeat him in order to bring balance to the world, or will Jin, subdue or succumb to the devil gene? We don't know. I would like to hear a closure on that particular storyline, and maybe some of the other characters. You know what I'm saying? A lot of characters have a lot of long going story arcs that kind of wrap around the Mishima story, but hopefully that they'll close it off for certain characters, and maybe we can jump off from there into another generation of Tekken games. Next up is a game that isn't a fighting game. Actually, it is one of my favorite platforming games. I've actually played only just a few levels, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get back into it and try to finish up on it. I hate to kind of leave it kind of way offside, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a project that I worked on and whatnot. But anyway, the game that I'm talking about is Conker's Bad Fur Day. Xbox, it hasn't had the best year. Sony has been pretty much dominating the market as of lately, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just hate it when people who own PlayStations kind of rub it in people who own Xboxes in their face and stuff, like, look at my console's way better than yours, it looks prettier than yours, it's got better frames than yours, and blah blah blah. But I don't think that needs to be a thing. I think we need to start like joining together and start becoming a united front. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all gamers in this circle, in this bubble, in this gaming bubble. And so I would like to see this year be, Microsoft's year, considering the fact that Sony isn't going to be there this year because obviously they're working on the PS5, and um, this is Microsoft's time to announce some games that people's probably been waiting on for a long, long time. And so this is the one game that I would like to hear about. Maybe a Conker's Bad Year. That's a title that you guys are open to use if you want to. I know this is a stretch. This is one of those games that's like way far beyond the ballpark. But it's a game nonetheless that I would like to see be announced at this year's E3. Next up, at number 5, it's not really a game. It's actually just an update, more of just screenshots or at least a trailer for Spawn in the MK11 game. Hopefully, we already seen the Shang Tsung trailer, and Shang Tsung, he looks great. He's a badass. He looks like he's going to be a lot of people's main for a good minute until Spawn comes in. Obviously, Nightwolf and Sindel, and the possibility of Ash from the Evil Dead and the Terminator coming in right behind Spawn is going to be pretty great too. But I think Spawn is going to be the one that's really going to sell more units once he's dropped. And I think it would be in NetherRealm's interest to try to get something out. You know what I'm saying? Other than just that trailer that we got. You know what I mean? After that is yet another update. At number 4, a Smash Brothers DLC character reveal. We only have 4 more characters for Sakurai to announce. And I'm really, really excited to see what characters that he pulls from the Nintendo Vault or whatever video game genre that he pulls from, considering the fact that there's been like speculations of Microsoft and Nintendo kind of working together, and that's actually a thing now, considering there's a lot of cross-play going on between all 3 of the companies. I would like to see Nintendo maybe put in their 2 cents and ask Microsoft, hey, can we put in this character? Can we borrow this character if we give you guys a little something, something? I would like to see that. And so I've already got a list of characters I would love to see be brought in. You name it, Master Chief. I would like to see Banjo and Kazooie. And of course, I would love to see a Killer Instinct character. Full gore for Smash. Let's go. Alright, I mean, I know there's a lot of characters already on Smash Brothers that can use huge beam attacks, but, full gore would be the dopest. And then you could put ultra combos in the freaking game as his final Smash. Let's go, dude. I want that. I was so hyped when I heard about Nintendo and Microsoft kind of teaming up with each other, and it was something that that just made my little imaginary mind go crazy with. So Master Chief would be cool and interesting as well, but I don't think I would be that interested in it. But full gore for sure, because let's be real, Killer Instinct used to be on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. So, to bring it back home where he began it would be worth it. At number 3, yet this is the last Namco fighting game I'm going to talk about. I promise you. I'm sorry. I love Namco just like I love Capcom, just like I love Arc Systems, like I love a lot of other fighting game companies. But Namco is right up there. I mean, they just have a very stunning, well put together franchise, a story that I'm really into. Me and my brothers are really into. And this is yet another game. This is even better than Tekken it by itself or Tekken Cross, whatever. But Tekken Tag Tournament 2, man. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Tekken Tag Tournament, I mean, let's go. You know what I mean? Not Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Tekken Tag Tournament 3. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry about that. I was like, wait. We already have a Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Tekken Tag Tournament 3 is the game that I want to see be announced at E3. Like, this, I love the music from Tekken 1, I love the music from Tekken 2, and the roster just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger with all the crazy combinations. I mean, with Smash Brothers at 85 characters right now that are, well, 4 of them haven't been announced yet, but they're coming, though. 85 characters. Insane. I wouldn't be surprised if Sakurai said, I'm going to put maybe 15 more so we can hit that 100 mark. I wouldn't be surprised. And Tekken Tag Tournament is right behind him with a huge roster of characters, any number of combinations that you can just insert there. And the matches are quick, simple, and in a hurry. But it's all worth it at the end of the day. I love the Tekken franchise, as I've already mentioned. I love their story, and just to see where the Tekken Tag franchise goes, if Tekken 8 is announced, or if not announced, we should get a Tekken Tag Tournament. And usually we get a Tekken Tag Tournament in between each iteration of the Tekken games. At number 2, I've already mentioned these two knuckleheads, and it's going to be Banjo-Kazooie. That's right. I think Microsoft really needs to stop sitting on their asses and get to work. They don't realize the amount of gems of games that they have in their library that they can easily bring back to life, and Banjo-Kazooie is one of those. Banjo-Kazooie is a platformer that rivaled Mario 64 back in the day. Banjo and Tooie, depending on who you talk to, some people like it, some people hate it because it was too long. But I personally think that it was a franchise that was long overdue for a remix. And I'm not talking about nuts and bolts. I'm talking about straight up platforming, egg shooting, crazy over the top collecting, op yo voice acting that you all know and love. I think a Banjo-Kazooie game needs to be announced. There needs to be a trailer. There needs to be something. All right, stop catering to all of these sports game people and shelling out to all of these other companies that aren't really getting your units sold. Microsoft, put in the time to get some of these other games that people have been begging for decades now, ever since you bought Rare. So you need to get off your butt, make my Conquer game, and make my Banjo-Kazooie game. Make it happen. At number 1, okay, I've already mentioned this game already. I already talked about a character from this game already. I already want him for Smash, considering the fact that Nintendo and Microsoft are teaming up. This needs to be a character. I mean, well, not a character, but this needs to be a game that needs to be announced. Killer Instinct 2. Killer Instinct 2. Killer Instinct KI by itself, when it was announced for the Xbox One, oh my god. I was just like Maximilian in that one reaction video where he just went bonkers. He went crazy. Yeah, that was me. Hearing Ultra Combo was probably the best damn thing I could ever hear. I respect Killer Instinct a hell of a lot more than any other fighting game franchise. It's actually my number 1 favorite fighting game of all time because of how crazy the characters are, the mechanics to doing the combo breakers and the ultra combos. Oh my god. I think the team Iron Galaxy is completely underrated. Those guys, oh man, they need to come back. They need to come back and make another Killer Instinct game, especially with the hype of NetherRealm's Mortal Kombat 11. It's great and all, but it's no Killer Instinct. It's not a Killer Instinct game, and I think this would bring in just a little bit more competition for them if Killer Instinct 2 is announced at this year's E3. I hope that there's something. I hope they say something. I want to hear the theme music for it. I want to see some characters be seen, maybe a new boss, what type of gimmicks they're going to have. I would love to see the story continue. Hopefully they'll start doing cinematic cutscenes with Killer Instinct instead of like doing some real cheesy like splash art with, you know, text at the bottom. Hopefully they'll actually put in the time and the work to maybe possibly giving what the fan base really wants. So that is my top 10. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked it. If there's any games that I didn't announce, because obviously I didn't, please put them in the comments below. It's completely open to you guys. Tell me what games you're looking forward to, what announcements you would like to hear from, what stuff do you want to see at this year's E3? Is it new systems? Is it games? What is it that you're looking for? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying my best to update and upload videos almost every single day. Every other day if I'm not, you know, trying to edit some of these things. I'm just shelling out and trying to give you guys what you want. So just stay tuned. Hopefully, if any of my games get announced, best believe I'm going to do a video over it, and best believe I'm going to talk about it. Or if there's any games that I seem very interested in, I will do videos over at this year's E3. So all gamers are all open to the comments, and as always, it is your boy, the Supreme B-Man, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.